all that other great stuff. It is I, Sankoku, once again walking to wherever. This time, instead of at the intersection turning right, I have turned left, and I'm walking the other way to, I don't know, some lunch. Where? I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if I should go on the other side of the street, because the sun just came out and it's really hitting my this side of my face. So I think I'm going to cross here and make my way on to the other side, the more shaded side. Besides, I think I have to get on that side anyways. I'm going as far as I think I'm going. All right. Gotta look both ways here. There is a car there, and there is a truck there. So I missed my opportunity to to cross. Earlier, because I needed to show everyone both sides. But anyways, so here we are, walking down the street, shooting people that I meet, fully loaded Tommy gun. Here comes the deputy. Okay, anyways. So, last we met, I was about to bare my soul, and I got stopped by people who came on the stream and asked me a bunch of questions, which is fine. This is fine, because, you know, maybe that's the universe telling me that it's a mistake. Keep my feelings inside and all that stuff. So maybe that's the truth, but the problem's still with me. And yeah. So yeah, this is much better. This is much better. It's nice and shaded. I'm not getting blasted by the sun. And yeah, some nice homes at the community church there, all that good stuff. So I guess I'm just gonna come straight out and say just a little story, just a little story. So if you're new to there's proper biking, not on the sidewalk, running in the bike lane, so then I don't have to hear some guy yelling on your left. Anyways, so what's been going on? Why a few days ago did I feel like I was going to need to crash out in an epic way? Well, I mean, epic for me, because, you know, there's not much epic in my life. So anyways, so I recently joined the cesspool that is Facebook. And I did that because I was going to give a shot to the Facebook dating. And why? Because I'm a cheap bastard. As much as the life of opulence I live, I am not going to pay for a dating app that just feels like scraping the last vestiges of my pride off of the highway after a semi-truck splattered it. I have to have a little something left, right? I have to have just a little bit. Anyways, so I joined Facebook. Then I realized that, oh man, you can't do Facebook dating until you have like a Facebook page that's in good standing for like a month. So, all right, try not to get banned in a month so that I can try free online dating app, whatever. I mean, it's not even dating. It's sad. It's sad. Anyways, the reason why I decided to do this was because my friend at work, my work wife, she found her fiance on Facebook dating, and she's like, man, if I can do it, you can do it. You know, she's been trying to get me to come out of my shell and be more personable and be more approachable, trying to get me married off. So, you know, she's got good intentions, but it's different for women. It's different for women. It's like night and day difference. Like a man like me, you know, just for reference, look at this, all right? This is what I got to work with here, you know. Look at all this stuff, right? Woo. Get across the. All right. Enough of that. So that's what I got to work with. Okay. Is she a family member? No, she's not a family. She's a work wife. She's a work wife, okay? So, no, we're just really good friends at work, and, you know, I help her out with her job. She helps me out with my job. You know, she's kind of like a mom, like another mom for me, you know? So, anyways, sweet woman. I'm super happy for her. That she found somebody. Oh my goodness, a moment of peace and tranquility. Look, so they're doing a bunch of stuff at the Highlands, which is part of the Blandford Nature Center. So I don't know what they're doing, if they're tearing up a lot of the parking to make it more natural, because it used to be a golf course, and the nature center got the land and then kind of just let it return back to nature. But there is quite a bit of parking. This is nice. This is very nice. I like this garden in the front. Very nice. Anyways, so I don't know if they're going to make it, you know, more just a trail. Like, the thing is, like, the parking is convenient because a lot of people will park there so that they can go walk the trails with their pets and stuff like that. So, you know, it's convenient that there is parking, so that you don't have to worry about you know, finding a spot to park if you want to travel, let's say, from across town, or not even that, but, you know, a great distance away, whatever. So, anyways, we'll see what goes on with that. So back to the story. So she's been like on me to, like, you know, get a dating app. She's also the person who suggested that I ask out the person who the person who broke my heart. So, and that, geez. So maybe I shouldn't be taking her advice, because she's led me to multiple heartaches already. But that's not really her fault. It's my fault for being not good enough for people. So, anyways. So finally, after waiting the requisite amount of days, I got to be able to use the Facebook dating app. And I don't know how many people are familiar with dating apps or Facebook dating, but it is really a soulless endeavor. Like, I've got to judge these people based on one or two pictures. Sometimes you'll have three, sometimes you only have one, and a brief description. And some people's descriptions are like a smiley face, and then a couple a couple, some personal information like height and whether they smoke, or education, things like that, whether they have kids or not, that stuff. And not all profiles even share all that information, so you kind of have to, like, I don't know, look into their soul through the phone to see if this person is even, and so yeah, it becomes a game of, like, is there an instant attraction? Is there an instant, like, oh, is there something there? Like, you look for something there. And so I feel like, as a guy, especially, with what I've got to offer, I could make the most perfect, well-spoken, descriptive, you get just the perfect feel for who I am, what I'm like. And I will get, like, no responses. I'll get no responses. I'll get zero responses. A woman will just put a picture and a smiley face, and she probably gets like 100 matches a day. I mean, that's just how it is. That's just life. It's stacked up against mediocre white men. And the thing is, I aspire to be mediocre. I am not. I'm not even at mediocre yet. But anyways, so I go through and I'm like, okay, heart this person, X this person, heart this person, X this person. Oh my goodness, this one person says a few things that I'm like, nope, I'm not about that, X. And then, oh, this person sounds perfect. Oh, what, 20? Nope. Or then there's like someone who just kind of lines up like almost perfectly, but then they live like 200 miles away, and it's just like, I can't do long distance. I can't do that stuff. So anyways, I after one day, I was feeling really bad about myself. I felt like, oh, I guess this just means I'm going to be alone forever, because that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm fighting a battle where I have to be absolutely 100% perfect all the time in every way that I can. And even if I do that, I am still on the losing end of the percentages. I am still just, up against it. The odds are bad. So yeah, it's a big hit for someone who has little self-esteem to begin with, just to feel like, you've liked like 100 people and you haven't gotten anything back. It's like, yeah, but it's what I figured. Also, it's what I figured. And then the thing is, that's why the last live stream, not the Chick-fil-A review thing, but the last live stream was originally entitled It's the hope that kills you, because I was still kind of like, oh, I got a little bit of hope that I'm wrong and it's going to be a worthwhile situation, and I'm going to find someone, we're going to chat, we're going to gel, we're going to fall madly in love, and that's like one less thing weighing upon my heart. That was the hope. But anyways, so I get a match. Well, not even a match. So like how this thing goes. If you like someone's profile, it sends them a message saying, hey, this guy liked your profile. So you got this section of likes. And then you can make your decision on whether or not you like them back. And if you do, then you can start chatting in the chat portion. Otherwise, you X and they're gone, right? So I got a like. So I look at it, and it was a woman in her late 30s. She's beautiful, like beautiful, but kind of like Russian beauty, exotic. And then I look at the profile, and it says that she lives in the town next to me, and I live like right on the border of the city and this town or city, whatever, this other city. So it's relatively close. I'm like, I probably could walk to wherever she lives, and vice versa. So I thought, well, that's perfect. And she said that she was originally from Kazakhstan. And I'm like, well, that's not too bad. Like, I've got Eastern European roots. I know that Kazakhstan's more Central, Middle East, whatever. Like, I don't know. I guess I have to look at the maps or whatever. But anyways, she's got that Eastern European look to her. And so I'm like, well, what the hell, whatever, I'll hit like back, right? Expecting nothing of it. I mean, maybe she made a mistake. Maybe she was just firing likes or something. I don't know. Her finger slipped. She was on her phone, and she was about to swipe left, and she sneezed and accidentally swiped right. I don't know. Whatever it was, I did. And when you match up, there's this little thing that you say, wave, right? Kind of get the person's attention. You get like a notification on Facebook dating that, hey, like someone waved at you. And so after I liked her, she waved at me and I waved back, and then we started a conversation. And kind of like early in the conversation, she's talking about how like she doesn't like the interface for the chat on Facebook dating, and I understand that it is kind of the notifications, if you don't have the chat open all the time, can be a little slow, and it's kind of awkward. You're limited to what you can do in that part of the app. So she's like, hey, do you have Signal? I'm like, no, I don't have Signal, but I can get it. It's like a big freaking problem. And so I get Signal, and we move on to Signal chat. Now, mind you, I'm still very suspicious about this, because that's one of the fears that I had going in, was that I was going to get taken advantage of, that I'm going to get catfished, because I'm a highly emotional person. I feel things quite deeply. And so if I start to like someone, I start to really like someone. And if I start to love someone, I really love someone. So it's a dangerous proposition going on these not knowing what's going on. So, anyways, we were on Signal, we talk and stuff like that, and then she's like, hey, let's exchange pictures, which is like, okay, you know, make sure that you're just not like running on like stock photos on your profile, so whatever. So she sends me a picture of her, and I send her a picture of me, and she's like, oh, you're so handsome, I love your faint smile. And I'm just like, actually, here, my faint smile, huh? I don't know. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. And we continue to talk, and she talks about that, you know, she doesn't live where I think she lives. She's talking about she lives in this other place. She's living with her aunt. And I'm like, well, that's not what's on the profile. And this is, you know, a good distance, about like an hour and a half away type of distance. So I'm like, I'm already like going like, this seems kind of bad, right? And during the conversations, you know, we talk about a lot of surface level stuff, you know, and I'm just like, okay, I'm like waiting for the hook or whatever. And we end up talking for a few days. One of the days, the second day, she's like, hey, let's do a video call. And so we had like a really quick 5-minute video call, and you know, she's doing it from like a nondescript white room with no windows, nothing on the walls. And I mean, to be fair, I was also doing it from my bedroom. There is a scooter just lying there. Weird. Anyways, and of course my bedroom walls are white, and so I purposely just, you know, found the most neutral, well lit, natural light, and we talked, and once again she complimented me, I complimented her. She has quite a bit of an accent. She's actually saying she's embarrassed by it, and I was like, you know, it's fine. I did have trouble understanding her, but that's probably because sometimes it's hard to hear the speaker on the phone, especially when you're looking it away from you to, you know, get a shot of your face. So anyway, so I guess we confirm she's real and she talks, unless she's got like a very impressive AI setup and perfect filters and shit like that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So she goes in and she tells about this story about like how when she was in college, she met this guy and they hit it off real well, and they became soulmates and then lovers, and then they got, I think she got married, no, or maybe fiance, whatever, not quite married. And after they graduated, they got a place together, everything seemed so fine, but he started getting into the gambling, and he ended up losing like all of their money, and then ended up like cheating on her too. So she was really pissed off, she was betrayed. She decided to move to America to get away from that, and she was going to reinvent herself, and she was going to, you know, put love aside and just kind of make herself a self-made woman and get that so that she can never be put in that position again. And I understand that stuff. I understand that. You don't want to be kind of dependent on someone and then have them flake out on you. That's just That's just a bad situation. So on the final day, and I call it the final date, she suggests that we go on a date. That she'll come to my city. We'll meet up downtown. And we'll spend the day walking the city. Have brunch, see some things, whatever. It sounded really nice. And she was talking about how she was going to at the end of the date give me a big hug and a kiss, and it was going to be super romantic and memorable. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. I'm just like, and for a moment I'm thinking, wow, this just sounds like she's kind of serious. It's like, she's been making all these moves, and like maybe she wasn't full of shit, and maybe this is legit. Maybe she's genuinely, a woman who's been hurt. And she talked about how she had a lot of trouble on the app with guys who just liked her for her beauty, who just didn't want to really get to know her. They just wanted to, hook up and stuff like that. And so maybe she went, look, this is a guy who I find attractive enough, but looks like he's not a complete scuzz. So I'm gonna go give this guy a shot. Maybe that's what's happening, I don't know. But so we make the plans, and she goes on and says, so let me tell you about what happened to me in America. And she was talking about how she started a business. She started a beauty salon and spa. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. So she started a beauty salon and a spa, and she was doing really well. So well, in fact, that she was able to open up a couple other locations. But then disaster struck. 2020, the year of the vid, and that destroyed her business. But when she first came to America, she decided to invest heavily in Bitcoin. Oh my God. So after the disaster, she cashed in a bunch of her Bitcoin and was able to pay off some debts, and she moved over to my state and started working as a finance manager. And in 2022, she got a private invite to a conference where they talked about how to invest cryptocurrency. And she learned all these secrets, and she parlayed them into buku bucks. She basically showed me her crypto wallet, and she's a millionaire. And I'm like, okay, all right, back in my part of the world, back in my part of the world, when we run across something that seems too good to be true, it ain't. Anyways, So I'm just like, okay, oh shit, oh no. And she's like talking about like, it's like I can teach you all the tricks and stuff like that so that you can be financially secure. And I'm like, oh my goodness, shit, here it is. And she's talking about like all this stuff, trading and strategy. And then she goes, it's like all you need is like a little bit of investment, a couple $1,000. Heck, we could probably just do it for as little as 500. And I'm just like, fuck. Shit. All right. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm willing to learn. I'm happy to learn. And we can talk about this more. You can show me the stuff that you're doing. I don't really need to make an upfront investment because I can just watch you. I can shadow you for a couple weeks and kind of learn the ropes before I dive in. And she's like, oh no, the best way to learn is through practice. Like practice. I'm like, okay. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not comfortable talking about this this stuff. Let's change the subject. Let's and at this point she rarely asked about any of my personal stuff. I told her that I've been hurt before and she never really followed up on that. Like I said, everything she asked me was very surface level. And of course, when I say that, she just gets all like, no. I need a man of action. I need a man who's going to take charge and do these things. And I'm just like, it's like I'm on vacation. It's late in the afternoon. I've got some people coming over. I need to get ready for that. I just don't want to have this conversation about this stuff. And she keeps like going, it's like, no. It's like, you need to be like on this now. You need to, and I'm just like, well, now it sounds like you're just selling something. And she just gets like even more pissed off and more aggressive. And I'm just like going, hey, look, I only met you a few days ago and we barely know each other and you haven't even really know anything about me. So like, and she's just like, oh my God, you were keeping that information from me. You weren't being forthcoming with stuff about you. I'm like, all you had to do was fucking ask. I didn't say the F word there, but I mean, that's what I said in my mind. And I said, all you had to do was ask. And she didn't ask. And she kept pressing down about like, like I'm looking for someone who's serious. I'm looking for someone who's committed. And I went, look, I think we should just back off and cool down for a bit. All right, just back off, cool down for a bit. And her response to that is, look, we can do it for 200. And I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my. Oh. Ah. Hold on. Ah. I don't know, like, and I just never replied back. In fact, like she messaged a couple more times after that, going like, that doesn't seem like a very risky proposition. I will even pay you double your money if you lose anything. And I'm just like, no, that's not how a human. That's not how relationship people talk. and then it's like sent me this little emoji of the face scratching its chin, going and then a bunch of question marks, and I'm just like, no, I'm not responding to that. I am done. Right, the best side. Anyways, so yeah, I'm done. I was done with that. And even though I was suspicious the whole way and I was being very cautious, there was this point where I let that hope sink in a little bit. And I started to believe, just maybe. And once again, nope. Screw you, man. Screw you. This is what you get for hoping. This is what you get for hoping. So yeah, it was upsetting. It was upsetting. Hey, look, it's Subway. You can have cake with cold cuts in the middle of it, and you maybe can have your cake toasted, right? Because it's not technically bread, according to the European Union. Anyways, so and the thing is, this is kind of like the cherry on top. And while this was all happening, I got several likes on my account from profiles that were eerily similar, like other ones that they were from Kazakhstan. And so yeah, other ones from Kazakhstan, other ones with a similar kind of picture, almost like, is it the same girl? I don't know. And I just immediately X'd them because I'm just too suspicious now. And it's like, it's a sad feeling. It's a sad feeling that you can't trust anybody. And, you know, I kind of put myself out there a little bit with hopes that things could be different, that I could prove myself wrong, and unfortunately I proved myself right. And it's sad, it's disheartening, and the thing is, it's just on top of everything else that's been going on in my life for the last couple of years. It's just another situation where I got my hopes up. I started to believe in myself. I started to believe that I could possibly, you know, attract a mate, attract a life partner, attract a wife. And once again, the harsh reality of life slaps me in the face and goes, no. And so I feel like nothing matters anymore, because it's just like, whatever. It's like I have to resign myself to my fate. I have to just realize that some things are not for everyone, and love is not for me. That's why they call it love. All the other 4-letter words are taken. And once again, it also reiterated, like, I feel like there's just this great amount of difficulty in, like, even if, let's say, I match up with someone and we talk, and it's like there's just a myriad of things that they're gonna find out about me, that they're just gonna be like, whatever, you know, they're gonna see the job and they're gonna be like, oh, loser. They're gonna see, you know, all this other stuff and go, oh, nerd, oh, dork, oh, he likes horror movies, he's a scary freak, he's frightening, all that shit, you know. And it's just a feel bad. It's just a feel bad, because it feels like sometimes I think, like, if I could just get a chance, you know, it's like that guy looking for that good job. He was just like, you know, at the interview, if I could just get that chance to prove myself, that chance to show everyone what I'm made of, my worth and whatnot. And the thing is, I probably already had that chance. I probably had that chance a bunch of times and I blew it. You can, speaking of cemeteries, you can have that on my tombstone. Here lies Zankoku. He had his chance and he blew it. Anyways, this is interesting about this cemetery. So I grew up in the house by the cemetery. It's over there beyond the trees. Like the property line just abuts against the cemetery property. And right outside my back door, or what used to be my back door, was a tall cement wall, because it's a hill. It goes up, and so they kind of like dug into the hill to make the house. And so yeah, it was like, hey, cemetery's just there. And of course, my sister had to show me Night of the Living Dead when I was a kid, and traumatized me because I'm like, oh, all these dead things are right next door, so every night they're gonna come out of their graves and kill me. Anyways, interesting. There's another cemetery right across the street there too. There are two separate cemeteries. I think one's Catholic, one's Protestant. Anyways, so there's this Mexican place here. Used to be a pizza place that sold this stuff called D bread. It was awesome, but they went out of business. Stupid freaking pandemic. And so now it is what it is. I'm not like a gigantic fan of that stuff. So anyways, so yeah, this is like the old neighborhood. The old neighborhood. Where are these places? So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but if we look down here, you might be able to see the house that I grew up in. So there's an apartments here, and my dad managed the apartments, and so you can kind of way down in there. I always loved that. There's this huge tree. And it was very a very interesting thing growing up. And of course, Vandenbrink, that was here back then too. So they survived the pandemic. Anyways, so yeah, way back there was the house. My dad managed the apartments, and so growing up, I kind of helped around. One of the fun things was to run through the sprinklers that are on they have this lawn area, and they have a sprinkler system, and when a hot summer day, run through the sprinklers. And of course, everything seems smaller. Like it was huge when I was older or younger, my bad. And now everything's so much smaller. Like it used to feel like a football field going all the way here to the other driveway. And that seems rough. But yeah, there was two buildings, and this was it was a greenhouse. It kind of set up kind of behind them. And yeah, it was a fun childhood for the most part. And so yeah, I get a little tour of my childhood. And we got this video game store, Vidiots. They sell used video games, movies, and collectibles. Anyways, been there a couple times. And yeah. So that Little Caesars, that's been there since I was a kid. This Burger King, it's there when I was a kid. Definitely they closed down for a little bit and did some remodels, but this car dealership here used to be an RV dealership, and so to look at the large RVs when I would bike ride around the neighborhood. And you know what? I think I'll go. Yep. I think maybe I'll come walk down my old street, because technically it wasn't on this street. It was on this dead end. Uh-oh. Did I lose sync there for a moment? I don't know. All of a sudden there was like, hey, you're live. So walking down the street. So yeah, I'm losing like most of my audience. So something happened where I got disconnected for a bit. But okay. So this is my old street. No outlet. So this is the street I grew up on. And yeah, it's definitely weird. Little kitty cat. Definitely weird coming back after all this time. I think this is really the first time I ever like walked this neighborhood in like 20 plus years. I think it's been over 20 years since I've been down here or over here. So it's kind of weird. I mean, I recognize that house. I had a friend that lived in that house. And yeah, it is interesting. This house over here, this one with the overgrowth, it's always been like that. It's been like a jungle in that front yard forever. In fact, the people who lived there, I don't know if they still do. They were really nice people. I think they had piranhas, and I watched Piranha 2: The Spawning. Thank you, sister. And that made me think that those piranhas are going to fly out of their tank and kill me. Anyways, and I was always creeped out by the people who lived in that house. I thought they were like some sort of cult or whatever. So, anyways, we're coming up toward the top, the dead end. And what was cool about this is that it's a hill, and as a kid, My brother and I, we would slide on our sleds down the hill during the winter. And of course the snow plows would push the snow up at the end, and it would create like this sort of fort and also a kind of a jump. So that was really cool. It was really so. And so they removed they moved this wall here because it used to be a little off, and there was an alleyway between the car overhang and the fence, and we always called that the alley of death because it was very scary and kind of overgrown. So yeah, this is the other side. Like I said, it felt like this was just a gigantic place, and now like coming back, it's like, oh man, it's not gigantic at all. It's actually quite small. And so it's no longer a greenhouse. So they repainted it, and they let all this kind of grow over. So it used to be like just this part was all like prickly bushes and vines and stuff like that, but this part was pretty open, and so it was quite the sizable backyard. But yeah, I mean, I see the railings, because you have to go up a bunch of concrete steps to get to the house. So I remember this, it's so nostalgic, but yeah, it's no longer green. Or is it still green? I don't know. It looked kind of tan. I just remember it being like more obviously green. But anyways, and then the cemetery is just like right back there. So, and it looks like they added some stuff. No, it's tan. But yeah, that's the house I used to live in. That's the house I grew up in. This is retirement community. It used to be called the Villa Maria, and now it's Shepherds of Independence. Anyways, so it might be a little different. Anyways, someone's gonna yada yada yada. Hello. So make my way back. Elderly gentleman probably going on a walk like me, who probably lives in there. It's funny that gate used to be like closed all the time, and they didn't want, it was a very private place. They didn't want us stupid kids riding our bikes through the parking lot and stuff like that. But yeah, this is very nostalgic. It's like you can never come home. You can never go home again, though. That's the thing. And yeah, that's the thing, is like, I can never go back to those days. And they were good days overall, but there was also some trials and some tribulations. My childhood was far from perfect, but I mean, back then, it was a lot simpler. Anyways, so yeah. Very interesting stuff. Very peaceful. very peaceful. Anywho, yeah, we go down this way. There's a gas station that I would my brother and I would frequent. Buy some candy, some pop from there. There's also a pharmacy, a little store in there. There's several times. And then a Dairy Queen. There was a Dairy Queen. And when, got special treats every so often and go to the Dairy Queen. It was really nice. And I'm sorry I'm not as talkative. I'm sort of just soaking everything up in, Like I said, it's been quite a while since I've walked this area. I remember just going through this neighborhood, trick-or-treating on Halloween. In fact, this little roundabout did not exist back when I was growing up. But so this went up to the old Villa Maria and then comes down and goes back out to the main street that's over here. Yeah, it's definitely a difference. The one street over there just loud and busy, and this street very calm and quiet. But yeah, I mean, things going the way they've been going. You can't help but to be a bit introspective. Can't help but look back and try to figure out what went on, what's going on, and you try to figure out what's the way forward. And for me, it feels like I don't even know if there's a way forward. Little parking sign on it. But yeah. Yeah. Things are looking bleak. But I mean, I'm still alive. I'm still here, and I don't even know why, but okay, there's luggage. It's probably a bomb, whenever you have luggage that is left. So here's the gas station. Whenever you have luggage that's abandoned, it's obviously a bomb. Anyways, so there's the pharmacy, there's the Dairy Queen way over there. I don't even know if they're open because most schools are already back. Most of the schools are already back. All right. I mean, I guess I could keep walking, because if I go this way quite a ways and then up, I'll go to the other place I lived in for a while. I lived for the first part of my high school years, but I don't know. Also, that neighborhood's not quite as safe. So, anyways, so I'm just gonna head back And I'm going to probably get some lunch over at the Burger King because I'm not gonna eat at that one Subway. That Subway is horrible. Like my brother ordered some sandwiches through the app, paid for them through the app, came to pick them up. For what reason or another, they had the doors locked, and this is like, like 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, right? They close at like 10, whatever. It's like weird. And there was a person in there, and he saw that there were completed orders in the pickup area. And so he knocks on the door, and they're just like, no. And he's like, shows like his phone with the app, and they're just like, nope. And so he's like, well, what the heck? Because he got a notification that the order was finished and ready to pick up. And for some reason, they just decided to shut the place. He couldn't get his money back. He ended up ordering at another Subway and picked that stuff up. And it's like, he never got his money back. He never got an apology. He never got anything. And he's like, you know what? Screw that place. And I'm like, okay, yeah, screw that place too. I'm even not a fan of Subway anymore anyways. They've gone downhill quite a bit in the last few decades. Well, anyways, I've been talking and walking for an hour, and then I gotta walk all the way back. I'm gonna go sit down, have some unhealthy food, and I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe I'll stream my way coming back. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it is. I mean, I've lost like a majority of my viewership anyways because there was that little hiccup thing. I wonder if I came across like a dead spot. There's like a dead spot. Cell phone dead area. There's a jammer, man. There's a jammer because we gotta get those signals away from my brain because that's how the government gets you. Oh yeah, this alleyway. I forgot about this alleyway. This alleyway goes back behind a bunch of the houses. I had a fight. I had a fight in that alleyway. A honest to God fist fight. And it was with the friend that lived in that house that I pointed out to earlier. Yeah, interesting. Fun times. I mean, we remained friends after that, but sometimes boys, they gotta work out their problems like men. No one really got in trouble for that stuff. That's what you did. Hello. I'm all right. Yeah, I used to live in this neighborhood like 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been living here about 30 years.
Ah. Yeah. So like I lived up in the house behind the apartments. My dad used to manage it, and yeah, just like this is like the first time in like 20 years I've actually come back and walked around. It's very very the Leonard's Hills apartments. So yeah, you go up Morgan. Oh really? Ah. Yeah, it seems so much smaller than it used to be. Everything used to look so huge, but that's what happens when you grow up, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a good afternoon. All right, yep. So I'm gonna end it now and get some food. All right, you guys be safe, be good.